At their closest point, America and Russia are separated by just 55 miles. That's shorter than the distance between Los Angeles and San Diego. And yet, no road, no tunnel, and no bridge has ever connected them. Not because humanity lacks the engineering skills, but because this narrow strip of Arctic water may be one of the most hostile construction zones on Earth. Floating ice sheets the size of buildings, winds powerful enough to shut down airports, earthquakes, frozen oceans, and two nuclear superpowers that barely trust each other. For more than 100 years, politicians, engineers, and futurists have dreamed about linking North America and Asia through the Bering Strait. A megaproject so massive, it could completely reshape global trade forever. So why has nobody built it? And what would it actually take to connect America and Russia? The Bering Strait lies between Alaska and eastern Siberia. At its narrowest point, the distance is only around 55 miles, or 88 kilometers. In the middle sit two tiny islands. Big Diomede belongs to Russia. Little Diomede belongs to the United States. The islands are separated by only 2.4 miles. On a clear day, you can literally stand in America and see Russia with your own eyes. Even stranger, the international date line runs directly between them. That means Russia is technically almost a full day ahead of the United States. In theory, cargo trains could travel from New York to Moscow, and eventually all the way to Europe. Supporters called it the Intercontinental Peace Bridge, a direct land connection between Eurasia and North America. It sounds like science fiction, but the engineering reality is absolutely brutal. Building a bridge across normal water is difficult, but the Bering Strait is anything but normal. For much of the year, massive moving ice sheets cover the region. Some are powerful enough to crush steel structures under extreme pressure. Unlike ordinary waves, Arctic ice never stays still. It grinds, twists, collides, and slams into anything in its path. Any bridge would need to withstand crushing Arctic ice, hurricane-force winds, temperatures below -50 degrees Celsius, powerful ocean currents, and earthquakes, because the Bering Strait sits near seismic zones linked to the Pacific Ring of Fire. Engineers would be forced to solve all of these challenges at the same time. The cost? Potentially well over $100 billion. But amazingly, the bridge itself may not be the hardest part, because once you cross the strait, the real nightmare begins. On both sides of the proposed crossing, there's very little infrastructure. No major highways, no large industrial cities, and few transportation links. Western Alaska remains one of North America's most isolated regions, while Siberia stretches across thousands of miles of remote wilderness. To make the crossing useful, both countries would need to build thousands of miles of railways, highways across frozen tundra, power and fuel infrastructure, ports and maintenance hubs, and even entirely new support cities. Then comes another challenge: permafrost. When permanently frozen ground begins to thaw, roads crack, buildings sink, and railways deform. As Arctic temperatures rise, maintaining a trade corridor across Alaska and Siberia becomes increasingly expensive. In many ways, the bridge itself might actually be the easiest part of the entire project. Even if engineers solved every technical challenge, politics could still stop the project. The United States and Russia have spent decades as geopolitical rivals. During the Cold War, the Bering Strait became a symbol of the divide between East and West. Even today, a permanent land connection raises major concerns. Military security, illegal migration, smuggling, espionage, strategic vulnerability. Unlike shipping routes, a bridge would be a permanent physical link between two competing powers. That makes political cooperation extremely difficult. Despite the challenges, the idea refuses to disappear. Some experts believe Arctic trade routes could become more important in the future, making a Bering Strait crossing more valuable. Supporters imagine cargo trains moving directly between Asia, Europe, and North America, creating one of the largest transportation networks ever built. But critics argue the costs are simply too high, the environment too harsh, and the politics too complicated. For now, the Bering Strait remains one of the world's last great uncrossed frontiers. Just 55 miles separate America and Russia. But those 55 miles contain extreme weather, massive engineering challenges, and deep political divisions. A bridge here could reshape global trade. Yet for now, it remains one of humanity's most ambitious and unlikely megaprojects.